My name is Teresa. Welcome to Bibliosa. Today I thought we would do the BookTube newbie tag. I looked over the questions really quick, jotted down a couple of notes from each one, but I didn't put a whole lot of thought into anything. So we're just going to kind of do this, see what comes out of my mouth, see how much we can keep after I edit. So, first question, how do you rate books? Give a quick rundown of how you do your star ratings, or if you don't use star ratings, how you evaluate books. Okay, if I finish a book, it gets 3 stars, just for being good enough for me to finish. For those of you that don't know, I have been editing books on a professional basis for about 15 years. So if it's good enough for me to finish it, it automatically deserves 3 stars. Because I won't finish a book if it's not that good. I just won't. There are so many good books out there that I DNF when I feel like I'm wasting my time. That sounds pretty harsh. It sounds like I'm really hard on books and a tough critic, but I'm not. When I'm not editing and I'm just reading for fun, they don't have a crazy high standard to live up to. They just have to be good enough for me to enjoy it. And so if it's that good, it gets 3 stars. There are so many things that we can increase the rating for, right? But bare minimum gets at least 3 stars because that's middle of the road for me. I just implemented a star rating guide. I call them the 5 P's. It is people, places, plot, pacing, and pleasure, or AKA enjoyment while reading. I give each one of those a 1 through 5. I take the 5 totals, I divide it by 5, I get the average rating for the entire book, and that's how many stars it gets. Until like 3 books ago, I wasn't even using this star rating guide. I was just rating on emotion. We'll see if I keep it. We'll see if I just go back to rating on how I feel. Number 2, how do you approach reviewing books? What's your review style? Are you analytical, emotional, casual, or structured? I am absolutely 100% casual. Most reviews are only a few sentences long. Listen, I used to be a book blogger. I think I've mentioned that before. Previous video. And I wrote the in-depth reviews and I did all of the highlights, and I'm not about that anymore. I will tell you if I liked it. I'll tell you if I didn't like it. I'll tell you what I did like about it. You know, the highlight. I'll tell you the low light per se. But I'm not going to dissect the book. Like I do that when I edit, and I'm not editing. I'm not here for editing. I'm here for reading fun. So it's short, it's sweet, it's to the point. Well, maybe not always sweet, but it's to the point. I feel like I can still give a decent opinion in a few sentences, and so that's what I do. It's all about how the book makes me feel while I'm reading it for fun. So yeah, super casual. I won't be super critical about a book unless I'm actually editing it for someone. It's just not how I roll. Number 3, what's the book that made you a reader? Whether it was your first favorite or the one that got you hooked, what book started it off? I would say back in elementary school, I think most people have a couple of books that they read in elementary school that just stuck with them, right? So mine were The Phantom Toll Booth. I loved that book as a kid. The Secret Garden, Alice in Wonderland. And there was even one called The Last of the Really Great Wang Doodles by Julie Andrews that I loved as a child. I got to high school and I found it's a Dragonlance trilogy by Weiss and Hickman. I can't remember exactly which one it was. It's part of the big, huge Dragonlance series, but that really lit the fire for fantasy. I also, during one of my English lit classes in high school, read my very first vampire novel. I read Salem's Lot by Stephen King and was hooked. I literally stayed up all night reading that book because I had to know the vampire was dead before I could go to sleep. And that race was on. I just kept going from there. And then, of course, 15 years ago, when book blogs were a thing, it was the highlight. I loved being a book blogger. It was really super fun to help authors get noticed, which is part of the reason I'm here again. Number 4, do you have a genre niche? Are there certain genres you gravitate toward, or do you read widely across genres? My favorite since becoming an adult has always been paranormal romance. Now that kind of gets a little bit lumped in with romantasy. So I would say romantasy and all it encompasses is at least 90% of what I read. 10% veers into fantasy, science fiction, paranormal romance still, and contemporary romance. And I'm trying to branch out into a few thrillers and maybe some romantic suspense here and there. My problem is that I'm a scaredy cat, see? And there are certain things that I cannot read because it will scare me and I will have nightmares, and I just don't want to go down that road. And police procedurals kind of bore me. So if you have any suggestions for a thriller that's not police procedural, that's not about losing your mind or being locked in an asylum without it being warranted, because that's a huge thing for me as well, let me know. I would like to read some, but I don't know what to read without scaring the bejesus out of me. So let me know what you think. Number 5, do you generally prefer character-driven or plot-driven stories? I am definitely a character-driven story person, but there has to be a plot present. Like, I can't read a character study about this character going through their life without any kind of plot to drive it forward. I think the closest I can get to that being acceptable is going to be cozy fantasy. I do love a good cozy fantasy, especially after I've been reading some heavily political romantasy or something like that. I do really enjoy a cozy fantasy. Right now I'm reading The Spell Shop for one of our book clubs, and it is just so fun. It's like a big hug. It's for everyone who loves reading. If you like books, you need to read The Spell Shop, period. Number 6, what's a book you love so much that you don't care if others don't like it? What's that one book you love enough for everyone? I don't know if I have one of these, honestly. I don't care generally if people like what I like or not. So it doesn't really matter to me what people's opinions are on books that I read, because reading is so subjective. Like, we all have our own likes and our own desires and our own imaginations, and even though I read the same book as you, I'm not going to envision it the same way as you. I'm not going to interpret it the same way as you, because we all have our own imaginations and minds, right? So I think every opinion on every book should be different, because we're all individuals and we're all interpreting and processing them in our own way. Does that make sense? What's a book you love so much that if someone doesn't like it, you know your reading tastes don't align? The book or books where a difference of opinion is a strong indicator of different reading preferences. I can give you a few of my favorites. So if somebody says that they dislike one of these books heavily, then I just know that I'm probably not gonna align with their opinion very well. Blood Over Bright Haven. I believe that every girl over the age of 13 should read Blood Over Bright Haven. It is one of the books that should be discussed in schools for high school teenage girls, period. That book is fantastic, and I will die on that hill. The Ruinous Love trilogy. If you don't like that, then we don't have the same sense of humor. Addie LaRue. I just love Addie with all my heart. I do wish the end would have ended a little bit differently, but I still enjoyed every minute of that book. So if somebody just, flat out hates Addie, then I know that our tastes don't align. And I just recently read The 7-Year Slip, and I really enjoyed that one. So again, if somebody just says, oh, I couldn't stand that book or whatever, then I know that we're not gonna jive. What is in your trash pocket? What books, tropes, or themes that you know are bad, but you love them anyway? I guess I don't really have one of those either. Let's just say I haven't discovered it yet, because I am trying to branch out into, like I said, some thrillers, trying to go a little bit darker in the romance sometimes. So maybe I'll find one, but right now I don't think I have one. Number 9, do you have any deal breakers in books? Something that, if present, immediately turns you off from a book? Cheating. I just can't. I've tried and I can't. This may also be why I am hesitant to try a Why Choose book. I really would like to try some. I even have some on my Goodreads want to read list, but I'm afraid it's going to feel like cheating to me, and it's a hard stop for me. So if you know of a Why Choose romance that doesn't feel like cheating, that you think I'll enjoy, let me know, because I do want to try one. I'm just afraid that I'm going to DNF it because I can't handle cheating. My other thing is dreams. If they have a dream in the book, whatever, that's fine. If half the book takes place in their dreams, what's a strong opinion you have about a book released within the last year? Whether it's overrated, underrated, or just a take you need to share. This is not necessarily a strong opinion. Like, I'm not going to die on a hill about this. It's just what I think. I DNF'd Iron Flame because Violet was just so damn mean to Zayden. Like, really? I just couldn't. And the other one is the Akatar series. I DNF'd that one probably about 30% into book 2 as well. Listen, it took me 3 tries to get through the first book. 4 actually. I soft DNF'd that book 3 times before I forced myself to listen to it all the way through, and then I gave it 3 stars. And then I went into the second book because everyone says the second book is their favorite and it's so much better, and I was bored and I didn't care enough about the characters to keep going. I know a lot of people are going to probably say that that was a mistake and I should pick it back up, but here's the other thing. I have not been reading YA very much in the past couple of years or so. I'm just not the same reader I was when those books came out. Had I picked them up when they came out, I probably would have loved them because I did read a lot of YA then, but now I just don't, and it's just not the same. I don't know if I will ever read Throne of Glass series. I may just not be a mass girly. Who knows? Like I said though, I'm not gonna read books I'm not enjoying. So I DNF when I feel like there's something better out there for me to read, and with over 500 books on my want to read list on Goodreads, odds are good there's probably something better out there that I want to read. What do you look for in writing? What makes a book stand out to you? Is it prose, style, themes, voice, structure, or something else? Okay. Editor for 15 years. First and foremost is always voice. Always, always, always voice. Second is prose. And I'm going to caveat that with the structure and mechanics have to be good or I can't read it. I have trained myself to read for fun instead of with my editing eyes, but there are a lot of things that my eyes will still trip up on if it's not correct. So if it isn't edited well, written well, I literally can't read it and enjoy it because my brain just won't let me get past those things. So bad writing, it's hard for me. Number 12, how do you decide what to read next? Do you plan ahead, mood read, or follow external factors, hype, recommendations, ARCs? I am definitely a mood reader. Most of my want to read list is based on hype though, and I just recently created a TBR game which has definitely narrowed it down and helped me pick. So even though I am a mood reader, narrowing it down to those 10 books really helps me pick what I'm in the mood for and what I want to read next. It's super helpful. Recommend it to everybody. And if you haven't seen that video, you should definitely go watch it because it was super fun. Number 13, where do you get inspiration for your booktube content? What sparks your video ideas, other creators, trends, personal reading experiences? Other creators, 99% of the time. Of course, I don't want to just copy somebody, but that's where most of the ideas came from. They're why I'm here, right? I created my channel because I wanted to be part of this community, part of their community on a deeper level than just sitting on the other side of the screen watching. So definitely for creators. Number 14, if you could make any book go viral right now, what would it be? A book you think deserves more attention and why? The books that I think should go viral already have. They deserved it. The hype is real and they deserved every ounce of it. I'm going to say Blood Over Brighthaven again. Like I said, every girl should read that book after they hit about 13 years old because, man, that is just empowering. It's an empowering book and I loved it. I loved every minute of it. The Spell Shop, because if you like books, you should read The Spell Shop. Seriously, if you like reading, if you like books, read The Spell Shop. The one I most recently read that really needs more hype, In the Veins of Drowning. That was really good. I'm generally not someone who loves books about sirens, but this one was very well done and worth the hype. Definitely read it if you haven't yet. Last one. Who are some booktubers with reading tastes similar to yours? Bailey's Bookshelf. I get a lot of books added to my TBR from her. Definitely. Emmy. Everyone knows Emmy. Emmy is wonderful. I love watching her videos. I read a lot of books based on her recommendations as well. Gen Z reads. She reads a lot of the similar stuff that I read, but she also reads a few that are on the edges of what I read, right? So she's the one that I get a lot of suggestions from for things that aren't necessarily already on my TBR. So definitely check her out. Laura, I think we all know who Laura is, right? Laura Holmes. And then Lindsay, She Is Booked and Busy. She definitely reads a lot of the same things that I do, but she also jumps into the thriller pool once in a while and the contemporary side of things. And so I get a lot of those recommendations from her channel. So that's it. Hopefully our tastes align. Hopefully you'll come back for the next video. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.